Every time you reach down to pick up your rabbit, it kicks, it twists, and it bolts under the sofa. And now you are nervous about even trying, because the last time it nearly leapt out of your arms and your heart was in your mouth. If that is you, you are not doing anything wrong, and your rabbit is not being difficult. Rabbits are prey animals, and being lifted off the ground is genuinely one of the scariest things that can happen to them. So let me show you how to do it safely, calmly, and in a way that over time makes your bunny dread it a lot less. If a fellow rabbit owner here in Singapore, not a vet, this is the way I pick up and carry my own rabbits, built from a lot of trial and error, and from watching what goes wrong for people in the local rabbit groups. It is not medical advice. It is one owner showing you a safe technique, because a bad lift is not just stressful, it can actually hurt your rabbit, and I want to keep both of you safe. Here is the thing to understand first, because it changes how you approach the whole job. In the wild, the only time a rabbit gets lifted off the ground is when a predator has caught it, so their entire body is wired to panic when their feet leave the floor. That frantic kicking is not your rabbit being naughty, it is a deep survival instinct screaming at them. Once you get that, you stop taking it personally, and you start working with the instinct instead of fighting it. Now the most important safety point in this whole video, and if you remember nothing else, remember this. You must always support a rabbit's back end. A rabbit's spine is surprisingly fragile, and their back legs are incredibly powerful. If you lift a rabbit and its back end is left dangling and unsupported, it will kick out hard against thin air, and that violent kick with nothing to brace against can actually injure or even break their own spine. That is the real danger here, and it is why we never lift a rabbit by the scruff, never let the back legs hang free, and never pick them up in a rush. The back end is the priority every single time. So let us do the lift step by step. Get down to their level first, on the floor, calm, no looming over them, because a hand coming down from above looks exactly like a hawk, and they hate it. Let them know you are there. Then slide one hand under the chest, between or just behind the front legs, and bring your other hand under their bottom to scoop and support the back end and the back legs. Now you lift both ends together as one unit, and immediately bring the rabbit in close against your body. The second they are pressed against your chest or your side, with their feet feeling something solid, most of the panic drains out of them. It is the dangling that scares them, so you minimize the dangling. One thing that helps a lot is reading the moment before you reach in. A rabbit that is flat out relaxed, or one that is mid-binky and zooming around, is not the rabbit to grab. Wait for a settled, alert but calm moment, ideally after they have eaten and pottered about, and avoid the chase. Chasing a rabbit around the room to corner it for a lift undoes all your trust in 30 seconds and teaches them that your approach means a hunt. It is slower in the short term to wait them out or lure them with a treat, but it is far faster across the months because they stop running from you. The carry matters just as much as the lift. Once they are up, tuck them firmly but gently against your body so their feet feel supported and their eyes can hide a bit against you. Some rabbits like to have their head tucked into the crook of your elbow. Keep your grip secure but not squeezing, and keep them low, never held out high or up near your face. And here is a Singapore-specific warning. So many of our flats have smooth tile or polished floors, and if a rabbit does wriggle free, it can hit slippery tile and skid or land badly. So carry your rabbit over the shortest, safest route, and if you can, carry them low over carpet or a mat, rather than across a slick floor. Plan the path before you lift. Putting the rabbit down is where a lot of accidents actually happen, because people relax too soon. Do not let your rabbit leap from your arms while you are still standing. Lower yourself down toward the floor. Get them close to the ground, and let them step off onto the floor themselves, under their own control. A rabbit that jumps from a height onto hard tile can sprain or break a leg, and our hard floors are unforgiving. So the rule is, low and gentle, let them choose the moment to hop off. Do not drop and do not let them launch. There are a few common mistakes worth naming because almost everyone makes at least one of them early on. The first is lifting from above by surprise, hands swooping down onto a rabbit that did not see you coming. Always approach from the front or the side. Let them know you are there, and lift from a low, calm positions. The second mistake is gripping too tight out of fear, which makes the rabbit feel trapped and panic harder, a vicious circle. You want firm and secure, not a clamp. The third is holding a rabbit on its back like a baby and thinking it has gone calm. That floppy stillness, the thing some people call trancing, is not relaxation. It is closer to a freeze response to fear, and it is not a kind way to handle a rabbit for everyday lifting. A relaxed rabbit sits the right way up, supported, with its feet under it. A quick word for families because a lot of our flats are full and busy. Children should pretty much never carry a rabbit around standing up. The safe way for a child to hold a rabbit is sitting on the floor with the rabbit on their lap and an adult right there. That single rule, all holding happens, sitting on the floor, prevents the most common and most serious drops because there is simply nowhere to fall. Teach it once and it sticks. Let us talk about the rabbits that genuinely fight you, because some do. If your rabbit is the squirmy, kicky type, the towel can be your best friend. Wrapping them gently in a towel, what people call the bunny burrito, gives them that all-over feeling of being held securely and stops the dangerous kicking, which is perfect for short jobs like a nail check or popping them into a carrier. But a towel is for a quick, calm hold, not for forcing a terrified rabbit into something. If your bunny is thrashing in real panic, the kindest and safest thing is to put them down and try again later. Forcing it teaches them that hands mean fear, and that makes every future pickup harder. The good news is that you can make all of this easier with a bit of groundwork. Most of a rabbit's relationship with you should happen at floor level, where you are not a giant grabbing them from above. Sit on the floor, let them come to you. Hand feed treats, let them climb on you. The more positive ground level time you build, the less of a big deal being lifted becomes, because you are not only ever a pair of hands that swoops in and takes them somewhere scary. You can even practice short, calm lifts followed immediately by a treat and being set back down. So being picked up sometimes leads to something nice rather than always the vet or the nail clippers. And that brings me to the most practical reason to get this right, the vet carrier. At some point you will need to get your rabbit into a carrier and across Singapore to a clinic, maybe in a hurry. A rabbit that has never been handled calmly is a nightmare to box up exactly when you are already stressed. So a tip I swear by: leave the carrier out in your flat as an open everyday piece of furniture, with a bit of hay or a treat inside, so your rabbit hops in and out of it for fun. Then when you genuinely need it, it is a familiar safe box, not a trap. And when you do lift them into it, the easiest way is often to lower them in bottom first, rear end going in first, supported all the way, rather than head first where they can brace and push back out. Now the honest health line, because this is where a fellow owner has to be straight with you. All of this careful technique exists for a reason, and the reason is that bad handling can cause real injury. If your rabbit ever has a hard fall, takes a bad twisting kick, or you simply notice afterward that they are dragging a back leg, not putting weight on a limb, sitting hunched, or have suddenly gone weak in the back end, that is not a wait and see at home situations. That is a get to a rabbit savvy vet straight away situations. A spinal or leg injury in a rabbit is urgent, and the sooner it is seen the better. I am a fellow owner, not a vet, so I am not going to tell you what is wrong or how to treat it. I am telling you to pick up the phone and go. Let me bring it all together. Always support the back end, lift both ends as one, and bring them in close. Carry them low and secure over the safest route, and let them step down to the floor themselves rather than dropping or leaping. Build floor level trust, so being lifted stops being terrifying. Leave the carrier out as a safe everyday box, and never force a panicking rabbit. And if a fall or a hard kick leaves your bunny limping, weak in the back legs, or not moving normally, you get them to a rabbit-savvy vet without delay. Once you have the technique down, it genuinely becomes a quiet, undramatic thing. Your rabbit learns that your hands are safe, you stop fearing the drop, and lifting them for a cuddle or a carrier becomes just another small everyday moment instead of a wrestling match. Give it a few weeks of patient, gentle practice, and you will not recognize the panicky bunny you started with. If this helped, come and find us at singaporerabbit.com. We put out a free weekly digest made for Singapore Rabbit owners, calm and practical. And we keep a directory of rabbit savvy vets right there. So the day you need one in a hurry, you already know who to call and where to go. It is all free and all made for owners here at home. And if you are getting something out of these, subscribe and stick around. The next video is all about how much hay and how many pellets your rabbit actually needs each day, measured properly. I will see you there.